So as you can see, judging from the title of this video, I'm going to go a little bit deeper into the actual paradox of boxing and why it is very easily to confuse disdain for a fan rather than the fighter, and how that can so easily be confused in boxing debates. You know, one of the things that I think goes amiss about boxing fans is that we actually love this sport with such a passion that we tend to sometimes forget that at the end of the day, these are men. These are guys who put their lives on the line when they step in the ring, and at the end of the day, just like any man, they are flawed, and so are the fans. I mean, one can easily say that this past in 2017, fans of Guillermo Rigondeaux, me being included into that, we were a tad bit flawed. Many of us, not all of us, believed in Guillermo Rigondeaux so much that we were blinded emotionally and maybe even cognitively by what he had been through, and we wanted to see him succeed so much that we maybe have asked too much of him. Jumping up 2 weight classes, fighting a guy who was massively bigger than him. But we're not going to make excuses for that. But it also, if I may, use the example of myself included, the Guillermo Rigondeaux fans, as something that can go towards this video. I want Anthony Joshua to succeed. I want him to be as successful as the next person in boxing. I want him to gain all the accolades that he's achieving or seeking to achieve. I want him to win against the opponents he fights. And the reason why is because, again, I'm a fan of boxing itself before the fighter. The same stipulations I would place on, let's say, another fighter, and I would say, listen, I want him to control a division, to clean out a division, to reign supreme and then move on and test himself. I want to hold for Anthony Joshua. I want him to fight the guys in the best competition at heavyweight. I want him to clean out the division, reign supreme, right? But that doesn't mean I can't criticize Anthony Joshua. Doesn't mean that you can't criticize my favorite heavyweight currently right now, Deontay Wilder. It just makes us fans at the end of the day, and there's nothing wrong with that. But isn't that the conundrum of boxing? We love this sport so much, and we love the fighters who contribute to the legacy that is boxing. We believe in them so greatly that almost to a fever pitch of insanity, we will battle back and forth online or chat rooms and on blog spots, because we love this sport and we love what this sport means to so many countrymen. I mean, when I think about boxing, I think about how universal it is and how it transcends countries, languages, tribes. And when you think about Anthony Joshua and what's currently gone on as far as a debate, Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder fans, we have to say without a shadow of a doubt, it is the prime example of what makes this sport so beautiful and also what makes this sport so trying at times. My wish for the success of Anthony Joshua goes because I believe in a certain heavyweight champion right now, American heavyweight champion right now, from Alabama, who I believe with every fiber of my being. However, which way you may think I'm irrational and not thinking completely clearly, but I believe in this person so much that when Deontay Wilder meets Anthony Joshua, I want him to be at his very best. I want him to be as successful as success can get. Give us an Anthony Joshua who is on the level, I'm sorry about that. Give us an Anthony Joshua who is on the level of Klitschko when Anthony Joshua fought him. Remember that? A string of unbeaten challenges. Considered arguably one of the all-time great heavyweights. Fought anybody and everybody who they put in front of him. Be that guy. And let's be honest, Anthony Joshua, he's brought that, I want to say, that bar so high up basically by defeating and knocking off the proverbial heavyweight king. Now, again, we can get into semantics because of Tyson Fury. Fury being that Fury beat Klitschko. But unfortunately, we can't debate politics and what could have and should have. Tyson Fury put himself in a really raw position. So we have to sit here and honestly say that nothing can be taken away from Anthony Joshua's victory over Klitschko. We have to give respect where respect is due. And Anthony Joshua gets all the respect from me. But what I will say, fundamentally, is that Anthony Joshua, even given all that respect, just like the Deontay Wilder critics who criticize who he's fought in his competition, and I'm kind of starting to see it now too with the Ortiz fight coming up. People are now saying how old he is and how he's this and he's that, and we know how this narrative goes. Remember what I was talking to you guys about earlier in the video? The paradox that is boxing. Unfortunately, with all the great and beautiful moments and memories we have in the sport of boxing, they come with these negative aspects. And the negative aspects is over criticism, over praise, obviously, and underachievers being given positions and opportunities that guys who we've known in the sport, who have put their blood, sweat, and tears in, meaning, and this word ties into Guillermo Rigondeaux, who I felt the sport of boxing's politics literally destroyed a man. Destroyed. And I don't think what people get is that when I think about Guillermo Rigondeaux, I don't want what happened to Guillermo Rigondeaux to happen to Deontay Wilder. I don't want, the ugliness of boxing to take over and have promoters and certain media outlets to start to shun an obvious talent, regardless of what you think of the Lomachenko versus Rigondeaux outcome. Please don't disregard all the accomplishments of Guillermo Rigondeaux. And when you sit back and you take a second and you think about it, it should make you a little sad. The man who was considered the boogeyman. And how many fighters didn't want to fight him? And here you had me, along with several other Rigondeaux fans and lovers of the sport of boxing, who had to be the brigade against the boxing political game that was being played against him. Think about how sad that should make you, that the love and the passion you have for this sport was overshadowed by, I don't want to say bureaucrats. I'm sorry. Like I got tongue-tied, but bureaucratic nonsense. So that's all I really wanted to say about Anthony Joshua. I really do. I'm 2018 is shaping up to be an exciting year in the heavyweight division. We're looking at the possibility of maybe in a matter of 2 fights having the heavyweight division completely cleaned up, and we could know who the 2 number 1 and number 2 heavyweights are. Now, obviously, of course, I believe that Deontay Wilder is number 2 until he defeats Anthony Joshua. And the only reason I say that is because Anthony Joshua fought Klitschko, and Klitschko was defeated by Tyson Fury. But as far as competition and the level of opposition, I will say that Anthony Joshua has fought better, stiffer competition. And therefore, he is number 1, and Deontay Wilder is number 2. So my wish and my hope and praying is that I hope that 2018, Anthony Joshua was very successful, has a successful campaign at heavyweight. And I want Deontay Wilder to have a successful campaign at heavyweight. Because when I want these two titans to meet up, I don't want bureaucracy, the shadow of bureaucracy over it. I don't want politics hanging over it. I want the best fighting the best. So, leave your comments below in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. You know, did anything I said in this video, do you agree with? Do you think I may be over-romanticizing the sport of boxing? Because I don't think I am. But let me know your position on it. This is the Lions Den Boxing Community. For those of you who don't know what the LDBC stands for, 2018, we are doing big things.